Podcast starts now. What is up, everyone? Welcome to StraightioLab. Today we are doing that time thing.
You know, is that time thing? It's such deep lore. I'm like, do people know that time thing?
For people who don't know, that time thing is when we record, when we play with time, we sort of Greta Gerwig Little Women. We put the intro, we record the intro after we've recorded the episode.
When we do this, which is rare, I would say we've done it maybe like certainly under 10 times the entire time we've done this podcast. This is something that many people do by default, because they respect their guests and don't want them sitting there staring at them while they talk to one another. It's a common thing for other podcasters to respect their guests. It's something that I can't really relate to.
No, I hear about that and I get sad.
Often we will even have guests request, hey, I'm on a time crunch. Can we maybe not do the part where you talk without speaking to me? And we say, well, that's sort of how we do things around here.
Well, it's just like, how would they ever understand the tone? If they don't. Also, we want to give them a little ammo, something to talk about when they join the call.
I think thank you. I think it's a gift to the guest. And it's sort of like, so if you don't want us to do this, you don't care about the podcast being good? So you don't care about what you're walking into?
So you want us to fail. So you want yourself to fail.
So you want this to be sort of like a Q&A with the filmmaker without watching the film.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unethical.
That doesn't make any sense. That would never fly at the New York Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, Cannes. I've never seen that happen before.
Maybe it would fly at South by Southwest.
At South by Southwest, they're barely showing films. It's mostly advertisements for new energy drinks, and then Pharrell is there, and he's like, I just want everyone to love each other. And
literally.
Then they make that into a little clip.
Bailing on the bit was amazing.
But the point is, no, I actually think I landed that plane because they do make it into a little clip.
That's true. They do make it into a little clip.
The time thing always makes me think, it's so hard for us to do the time thing because we are not used to it and because we like things to be linear. But then it makes you think, guess what? You know who does that time thing all the time? Film actors. The fact that, Kristen Stewart is out there shooting Love Lies Bleeding completely out of order. Well, and that's just the default. And you have to walk in and you have to tell the director, so can you remind me again, what did my character just do?
I find that to be one of the scariest parts about film acting is I'm like, no, film it in order. Like, what do you mean? It's crazy.
And that's the default. It's not like, oh, yes, when it's an especially tough shoot, we have to film it out of order. That is literally the default.
No, they're like, we filmed the end because that was going to be the most physically taxing. And
yes, and the end is where you've been stranded on an island for a full 5 days and you're finally being saved and you're covered in dirt and you have to look relieved. And you have to do that without even having the experience of pretending to be on the island.
You know what this is? Acting is literally going like, POV, you are stranded on an island and you are dying and you are blank. And it's like, okay, I'm making a TikTok. POV, I am stranded on an island. Yeah. I'm dying. And you're like, that's acting.
This is why I understand why people say stage acting is harder. Obviously, I get it. However, to play devil's advocate, you are doing things in order.
You're doing things in order.
You're doing things in order. You're not wearing any kind of green screen suit with the little beads on it. You are always acting with other people and not with an animatronic bull. I don't know. It sounds pretty easy to me. It sounds like living a normal life.
Stage acting is actually the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, that's why you don't get paid anything for it.
So I love also, this is both that time thing and I also call this marinating because
I love marinating.
We get to record the episode and then get to sort of be like, so this episode with Liza Treyger was actually really awesome.
Liza, great comedian. She has a new Netflix special coming out. It's called Night Owl.
I've been aware of her shit for a while now. It was really awesome to get to sit down with her.
I opened for Liza once in Philly. That was a crazy show. 1997. The Lewinsky scandal was roiling.
Oh, I had 15
She did an entire set about the dress.
But that being said, to be honest, George, I'm self-conscious about this episode because I felt like it's that classic thing of when one person's in LA and two people are in New York. And I was like, damn, this is hard to hop in.
No, I felt the same way about the next one we recorded. It's tough. But you know what? This is sort of, I would say, similar to that time thing this is the difference between in-person podcasting, which is of course stage acting, and Zoom podcasting, which is film acting.
Whoa. Now we're getting somewhere.
Because for you, what Liza and I are animatronic. We are like who's the guy that does that is Gollum and the monkey?
Oh my God.
You know.
Oh, no, of course I know. How am I forgetting his name?
Andy Serkis.
Yes. Thank you.
Basically, Liza and I might as well be Andy Serkis in a full green screen onesie, because you have to pretend that we're there in the room with you. You're acting against nothing. You're basically Zoe Saldana in Avatar.
Yeah. No, you're so right. I mean, what we just did was like so hard.
And by the way, speaking of Zoe Saldana, you know, it's like, she's like, oh, I wanted to be challenged, so I did Emilia Perez. You know what's challenging? Acting underwater with only people wearing full body green screen suits.
It's very confusing.
I'm sort of like, what do you think is challenging?
Our priorities are all mixed up. People will be
so
like,
confused.
I played like a downtrodden guy who just lost his job, and it was actually like really nuanced and difficult. And it's like, doesn't sound that difficult.
Doesn't sound that difficult. You know what is difficult? Playing Captain America.
That's hard
That
to
is
sell.
much more difficult.
That's a fake guy that you have to make seem like he's not so fake.
And actually, I think that's why it's such a win-win to ban all superhero content, because it's actually harder for everyone. I want Chris Evans to have an easier life.
He deserves
He's been
that.
through too much. The way that they have to paint Zoe Saldana green from top to bottom in order for her to do those movies, what are they called?
The Avengers? The
Avengers, yes. Guardians of the Galaxy is what I was.
Oh, there you go.
I know what Marvel is, but I couldn't remember the exact property that she was a part of.
Got it.
I'm in a sort of pro Zoe Saldana moment right now. I know that I keep bringing her up and it sort of is not doing much for you, but I just want to say, she actually has been giving a lot for a long time. Don't you think?
I completely agree. I'm in a pro Zoe Saldana moment as well. I feel wrongly accused of not being pro.
Okay. I'm sorry. You know why? It's because we're Zooming, so I actually legitimately can't see your face because it's approximately 8 feet away from me in the studio.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually do stan her. And in fact, I love her in every film she's ever been in. And she might be the reason I do watch Emilia Perez.
Here's the thing with Emilia Perez. It's not a good movie, but it's not in the way you think it's going to be a bad movie.
I love this.
And
keep going.
Also, I think Zoe Saldana and the main actress who plays the titular Emilia Perez are both very good in it. So I'm sort of like, listen, give them the acting awards. Why not? Obviously, they don't deserve them. The people that deserve them are both are the lead and the supporting actress in Hard Truths. But of course, America literally hates films that are about humanity and human nature because we are an anti-humanist culture. So sure, give it to Emilia Perez.
I was pretty surprised, especially like Challengers not getting anything.
Insane.
I was like, what the hell? I'm lost. This industry, it breaks you down over and over and over.
It's confusing, but I must say, I think in a previous era of my life, I would have been such a contrarian that I would have been like, Hollywood doesn't know anything. This is all bullshit. But I actually think, even if I didn't like many of the movies nominated, you have to respect how weird they all are.
That's true.
I'm sort of like, okay, well, at least we're not awarding the King's Speech, Theory of Everything, and Green Book. Like, we're actually sort of casting a wider net. And yes, I didn't love Emilia Perez, but it is ultimately like a crazy operatic musical.
Penis
with
to
Zoe
vagina. It's so good.
And even The Brutalist, I'm like, okay, great. So this is like a random 4-hour epic with an intermission, and it's not even about a real person, and it's an original screenplay. Sure.
I think we should wrap up, actually.
Let's do it. Basically, please welcome Liza Treyger. Please welcome Liza Treyger.
Yes.
We did it.
It is the #1 podcast in my heart and the hearts of all your listeners.
Can I just say, your hair looks incredible. Did you just get a blowout?
Thank you. This is a 3-day blowout.
Okay.
I got a blowout on Wednesday.
Are you wearing extensions?
No.
Your hair's just long.
I have long hair, but I'm Jared Goldstein posted a clip of me doing his podcast, and my hair, honestly, that's a StraightioLab topic, is poorly straightened hair.
Yes.
So straight. Like, I looked so bad. I was like, I will never do a podcast without a blowout again. And I canceled Soul Cycle to make sure the blowout stayed. I was like, I'll do extras next week. Like, I cannot look like shit again.
I also, I would go so far as to say the concept of a blowout is straight, because I'm going to be honest, I've never fully known what that is. It just means they blow dry your hair?
They style, they blow dry and style it. So, because it is a skill. Like, that's the thing. People that are hairstylists, they are good at what they do. And if you're an impatient person or someone that waits till the last minute to get ready, you're just like...
Impatient person?
Yeah, like, I'm not going to be learning how to blow dry my hair well.
I'm impatient at dry bar.
No, dry bar is amazing because it's the lowest form of salon work, and it's a lot of like girls, I think, paying their way through school.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like immigrants who are waiting for a green card.
Sure.
It's a lot of girls that like, it's really funny, the attitudes at dry bar.
Oh, that's so funny, because in my mind, as an outsider,
it used to be, they fucked up.
Yeah, as an outsider, I'm like, dry bar is the Soul Cycle of hair.
To me, it's Premiere.
Yeah.
No, it went down. They didn't upkeep with everything, and it's also not like you can rip it off. So or you can just go to your own place. It costs more, but like you can also just go to a hairstylist and get a blowout.
That sort of has always been my strategy with hair generally. I'm like, I'm always going to my local barber. I realize I have especially easy hair because I'm just like buzzing it.
Yeah.
You literally just have a buzz cut.
Well, it is a fade. But I used to, there was a moment in my life where I would go to like the fancy, Williamsburg / like when I was living in San Francisco, I went to like the fancy place that charges like $70. And I was like, this is not worth it for me.
Yeah, but as a salon receptionist, I loved seeing sexy women charge men $80 for a haircut and then get a $20 tip on top because they're like were so hot. And I loved seeing women owning condos at a young age.
Totally.
I think it's just so sad that how far we've fallen as a society that you have to look good for a podcast.
This is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Get these photographers out of my comedy shows and my podcast. But this is the life we live.
And by the way, I know we do this to people, but I'm just used to it.
I hired a stylist to do podcasts.
You hired Zendaya's stylist. What's his name?
La Roach.
La Roach.
This is original La Roach head to toe. And I know we do this to people, and I'm so used to it now that it doesn't occur to me to not like at least, put on a sweater. And then I'll do a different podcast and I'll show up like right out of the shower with basically my robe and be upset that I'm being filmed.
Oh, yeah. It's rough out there in terms of and the lights, it's all overhead. It's all well lit. You really need to like be on top of it for a thing that's supposed to be casual.
Yeah.
But now you need the clips to get in. It's not. The Gen Zs took over our live performance. Like, we're supposed to be dirtbags.
No, I know.
Comedians
I actually
are dirtbags. Let us be a dirtbag.
Okay, here's what I'll say. When I was like younger, I would be, and especially because I came up in Boston, I would be almost somewhat alienated by the slightly older guy comedians that would be like, stained crew neck sweatshirt, ill-fitting jeans, one boat shoe and one Birkenstock on stage. And now the older I get, the more I'm like, that's who I am. That's who I was meant to be. And I was gaslit into thinking I have to like, I don't know, look nice or something. It's like, I am meant to be Bill Burr.
Yeah, I'm like letting you know what's up with society. And now I have to be like, I'm spending $80 blowing out my hair.
Yeah, no, it's not right.
I'm spending thousands on a stylist. I'm like, it's really nuts. But
it is like when people were complaining a few years ago about hot comedy and being like, this is so annoying. Like, look at all these hot people taking Instagrams and calling that comedy. It's like we did it. They were kind of right. Like it's actually just kept getting harder and harder, and you actually have to be hotter and hotter. And now you have to be hot while you move as well. You have to be hot while you talk and while you move.
I just wanted everyone to know the biggest controversy in the comedy scene in 2019 was that shows had photographers. That was the biggest thing. They were like, I can't believe I go to a show now and there's a photographer and I have to look nice. Well, cut to now, you are basically filming an Academy Award-winning cinematography nominated movie every single time you do stand up at Union Hall.
I've seen comedians, I'm not even talking like a little tripod. I'm talking heavy equipment, bags. They're putting poles together.
We met someone in our friend who was in San Francisco told us, he shall remain nameless, he flew out someone to film his set.
Yeah.
because he had something he was like planning on posting. I was like,
that's not what
and he's
I
right.
do.
And he's right to do it.
And guess what? He's doing and it's good. And that's how people learn about it. Am I expecting people to fly to New York to see me at the Bell House if they want to know what my stand-up is like?
No, the clips are good. It's just like, it is a live medium.
Yes, it's a live medium.
And it's taken away. But the thing is, the hot girl comedy, I was so into it because of feminism, where I was like, they always told us, you can't dress like this. You have to be more masculine. You have to do this. So I liked seeing a little flimsy top. I liked seeing a crop top. I liked that. But now, why is it pushed on me? Suddenly I have to be like a Polly Pocket in the morning, run around. Like, I tried on like 7 outfits. I'm like, oh my God. But no, I'm thrilled. I'm grateful to be here.
Of course.
I should be better because I do want to meet a lover too. And I think I have to put out a better aura.
What sort of lover are we talking?
Like I want a partner. Let's get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want something unhealthy.
Yeah.
I want to be love bombed into being married within a month, but I will be fine with a healthier relationship if forced upon me.
So what is your ideal courtship?
I want someone to come up to me and be like, wow, you're so cool. I'm going to take you out. And I'll be like, okay.
And they pick you up.
I can't. I don't know. I'm like,
you kind of want like rom-com vibes.
You want rom-com vibes?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I want a little romance. I want a little Travis Taylor. I do.
Do you want like respectable?
Do I want to be respected? No. Absolutely not.
Do you want like respectable Prince Charming, or do you want like sort of like dirtbag with a heart of gold, like Tommy Lee?
Not Tommy Lee. So what am I? What's Tommy Lee and what? Like what's
and
the
like
other?
And like Prince Charming from fully a Disney movie,
a cartoon man.
A cartoon man.
Can I say like Seth Rogen? I guess I would go more Tommy Lee, but I can't. I need someone.
Seth Rogen is in the middle.
Seth Rogen's in the middle. I want a Seth Rogen.
Okay. Damn.
What's your opinion on dating other comedians?
Yeah.
I've only been in 2 actually serious relationships, and one probably wasn't. It was more serious in my head, and they were both comedians.
So not opposed.
But different genders.
Different genders.
So that's kind of, exciting.
Comedians can be any gender. People don't know that. Interesting.
I'm just saying, but I got to
But you want a long-term relationship.
Yes.
Wow.
I'd be like, if you want to dick me down well and leave, I will be okay with that.
That's
too.
totally, yeah. Okay. Well, our DMs are open. We have people of all genders who listen to this podcast. This is
what I've been doing on the podcast. It's like I do have a Netflix special coming out, but also it's been mostly like my weight.
And what is the Netflix special called?
Night Owl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question.
There was controversy. Did you guys see the movie American Fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a moment like that where, fuck. So I, as a joke, went, let's see if we can get dumb bitch cleared. And then Netflix called and goes, we love dumb bitch. And I was like, I can't call my first hour dumb bitch, but I understand that it's funny. Totally. I just like, I was being silly, but thank you for clearing it. But I'm going to go with Night Owl. And they go, and I couldn't believe it.
I mean, dumb bitch would have done really well.
I mean, unfortunately, it does draw you in.
Yeah.
It does draw me in. It's just, I talk about my family. It's my first one. And in this climate, I can't call myself a dumb bitch. I can't be the dumb bitch in this.
So, okay.
I am like a smart, amazing woman.
This is actually, you're pointing to something that I think is really important. I think reclamation of insults is over.
Oh my God. I fully agree.
Like, I think it used to be,
news.
Women would like reclaim bitch. Gay guys would reclaim the F slur, and it's like, I actually think at this point, we are in such a post-irony versus earnestness world that you can't risk reclaiming anything because you're immediately on the side of the oppressor.
Yeah.
I also think it's gotten so lazy where like someone will be like, you're dressed badly. And then that person will put out a t-shirt that says like, I'm dressed badly. And it's like, no, you can't reclaim every like insult. Like you have to let it rest.
Nasty Woman unfortunately ruined reclamation.
Nasty Woman and like bag
deplorables.
Of deplorables. That's it.
I think that Nasty Woman and deplorables became so confusingly coded that it broke people's brains, and now you can't reclaim dumb bitch.
No, that's the thing. Like if people respected women, I could be like, I'm a dumb bitch.
Totally.
But I can't do that because most society don't think that women are humans.
Yes.
So I can't, that's the thing. I wish I could have fun. Mm-hmm. But I have
fun
to be
is
Night
banned.
Owl.
Fun is illegal. There's been an executive order.
We can have fun together, but we can't let the other people have fun on our shit.
But here's the thing. Because of the ecosystem of our media environment, there's no we and them.
Yeah.
Anything you say is a clip that will then be seen by a right-wing incel.
Yeah, it's like
and then
Caleb
they will
and
be like,
Nori
oh, she's a
Reed.
dumb bitch.
Yeah, she's a dumb bitch and she knows it.
Sam, what were you saying?
Well, about this like reclaiming insults and stuff. Have you heard about like digital Munchausen?
Yes.
I've been like obsessed with this concept where people are creating.
Well, I know there was that New York Mag story where this girl was being cyberbullied and it turns out it was her mother.
I read this whole story and that's where I learned about digital Munchausen. And so people will create like bullies for themselves online and bully themselves so they can be like, someone called me a dumb bitch. Now I can be like, post a screenshot and be like, look at what's happening in my DMs. I am a dumb bitch and I'm proud of it. Like,
totally.
It's this whole cycle.
I think this is, I'm sorry to bring generations into it, but I actually think it's a very millennial thing to be like, to fetishize being persecuted online. And it's sort of like, okay, why not cut out the middleman? I'll do the persecution myself. Immediately, I have a t-shirt line.
Well, there was that like Gia Tolentino article about like how, or essay about how like that's literally how you succeed now is if you get enough people to hate you, then you can like come back from the hate and then people will support you double. And it just is like it's almost like a little engine to keep your name up.
I think that's literally why Sam and I have not reached the next echelon of success is because we don't have enough haters. And I'm not kidding.
No, you both are just like so smart and cute. Like it's tough. It's so funny. Great games. Yeah. What is there to hate? I mean, I think it's because if your podcast was called StraightioLab, you'd get the hate. But people might not get it and think you're straight. And then they like it.
But I think the fact that we're quote unquote making fun of straight culture, which by the way, we're not, we're celebrating it obviously, means that if someone didn't get the ironic bent to it, they could be like, oh, they're doing reverse, like heterophobia.
Well, no, straight up. Nori Reed was on Caleb's podcast and they said, it's cool that our dads are dead because it's one less white man alive. And then right wingers are like, look at this death call.
Yeah. It was on Libs of TikTok.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I heard about that, but I didn't know what I was just pretending.
Don't Google
Don't
it.
look into it.
Don't look into it.
I'm not looking into anything anymore. It's all owned. Just give me cute animals, sexy people, Taylor Swift outfits. Like, I don't care.
You heard it here first, folks.
George, should we do our first segment?
Oh my God, I would absolutely love to.
Wait.
George, introduce it. You're there,
Okay. Well, as everyone knows, including past guest Liza Treyger, our first segment is called Straight Shooters. And in this segment, we test your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture by asking you a series of completely nonsensical rapid-fire questions where you have to choose this thing or this other thing. And the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions about how the game works. Otherwise, we will call Netflix and change the name to Dumb Bitch in order to spite you. Okay, so let's see. 6-inch heels or foot-long sub?
Foot-long sub.
Okay. Unprecedented times or underappreciated Busta Rhymes?
I think Busta's normally appreciated. I'm gonna go unprecedented times.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels or New Jersey Devils?
New Jersey. I mean, Charlie's Angels. You were tricking me.
Tripping on Molly or admitting you got me?
Molly.
Summering in Spain or muttering something profane?
Ooh. Muttering something profane.
Loserish behavior or Jesus is my savior?
Loserish behavior.
Lazy Sunday or Busy Phillips?
Lazy Sunday.
Wow.
Okay. Oscar nominated or Chaucer educated?
Oh, I don't even know what that is. Oscars. What's a Chaucer?
Canterbury Tales?
Yeah, no.
No, actually, no. No.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna. Let's go ahead and not register with me. I took this class in college that was like the entire semester was about one like alt Chaucer piece, and I was really bad at it and didn't understand. Like, you're reading one book the whole time and like really, deep diving in, and each day I would be like go in and pretend I knew what I was talking about and had no idea.
Chaucer's one of those people where, not to sound anti-intellectual, but I know in my heart I will never actually read his writing. I missed the boat in college. I'm not going to actually, on my own, be like, what are these tales about?
I have to say,
it's not going to happen.
Written in Old English, and
of course,
the teacher was trying to get us to read it out loud in the accurate way, and the way that it always ended up sounding Jamaican. There was this sentence that I remember because it became a joke in our friend group where it was like, "Who yaffing me drinky?" And so we would just be like, "Who yaffing me drinky?" And I am addicted to it. So if you've ever heard me say "Who yaffing me drinky," that's what it is.
Wow, now there's your t-shirt line.
Yohevity. I can't even pronounce that. Was this in English? Who's can't? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Old English.
Old English.
No, I forced my school. I was like, I want to be an AP English. And they're like, you really can't? And I was like, I don't care. I want to be an AP English. And so I did. And then I got a C and a D. And there was no reason I should have been. I would have.
Why did you want to be an AP English?
Because my friend Veronica, who's a year older than me, said this teacher was the best teacher and changed her life. And I was like, I want the best English teacher. And in my head, I was really good at reading and writing. That's it. But I wasn't. I wasn't at all. And I had no idea what was going on. Everyone now, I think, is working in science. Everyone in that classroom, I'm like, you are working at Google. But I wanted it. I wanted to be smarter than I was. And still maybe.
Well, I think there was something in high school where there was how today people will be dress for the body you have, not don't dress aspirationally for the body you wish you had. And there's something about people in high school where they were like, well, it would even I remember doing this in college where I would be like, but it would be awesome if I was in AP, even though I shouldn't be.
No, I shouldn't be at all. But because at one point we got a reading assignment. I didn't even understand the syllabus. I didn't read the intro. I read the years of the author. So I read from 18 something to 19 something. I was up all night after swim practicing, reading, didn't understand anything. And everyone just read page 1 through 12. It was the years of the author's life. And that should have been the first clue of you can't even read the syllabus. You've got to go. But
no, but see, I think
the
you just had a different.
I just wanted.
You're a classic artist, though. You had a different. Everyone else read the intro. You read random pages.
Not under.
That's literally what Picasso did, and that's why you have a Netflix special and they work at Google.
Well, then the teacher, the one thing she did was we had to make mobiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Calder style, yeah. Oh, for The Great Gatsby?
Yeah.
What the hell kind of school did you go to?
Did she just have a baby or something and was like, I need some toys for this damn thing?
No, it was a color. So I did this cool, and she goes, you've got an eye for it. So I went into advertising because she said I made this cool Great Gatsby collage mobile. And then, I loved her. I don't know why.
Schools are obsessed with making you make dioramas, mobile, just 3D installations.
But I loved that. I loved when we could do a sketch, a video.
Totally.
I loved anything that wasn't actually reading and writing, but I wanted to be someone that.
Of course, you fetishize the idea of being an intellectual. We all do. That's why we're here at this podcasting studio.
Except this country, we just talked about
yeah. No, you can't reclaim anything, and you can barely read and write these days.
No, I have a few book. Yeah, whatever. It's not interesting. Be I can't read. Most people can't anymore. Most of the country can't read.
No, it's really sad.
I'll read an article.
Of course.
I'll read an article down, start to finish.
Do you guys not grade in doves anymore? We really kind of.
Oh my God, I know we didn't grade you in doves. Wow.
Oh my God, we forgot.
Okay, Sam, what do you think?
Well, we have to grade you a little bit harder because you've been here before, so you know how the game works.
You're sort of the most knowledgeable guest we ever have. You're always calling us out on how we're not following our own rules. When you did the live show, I was shocked. I was like, oh, so you know more about this than we do.
I'm very into it. But that live show, I love the live shows. I'm thinking of your another live show that you guys had that I was just in the audience for. And it was wild.
I'm going to say, just to keep you on your toes.
Wait, how was Toronto? Did you get a hotel room? Because you went during Taylor Swift weekend and you didn't have a room, and I go, what are you guys going to do? And you said, I'm not worried at all. So I want to know what happened with your lodging for that show.
I ended up staying in a pretty nice hotel, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we threw down for it, but
we threw down for it. I mean, I will say on record, we maybe that was the only show in my entire life where I didn't make money. Actually looking at the books, I think I broke even.
I'm like,
personally.
in your entire life?
Out of town show?
Oh, honey. I'm like, I feel like I've definitely done out of town shows where I don't make money.
I guess in the very beginning when you're like driving just to do like
as a professional.
I think, yes, let's say in the last 5 years.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we made a single dollar.
No, I don't. And I think I personally, I think Sam did a better job planning than I did. I think I personally might have lost money on that trip. Which happens. Listen,
of course.
We made money in San Francisco, so there you go.
Well, and the memories will last forever.
And the memories will last forever. We had such a nice time. It was such a great show. Sold out. Can you believe it?
Cool. Yeah, like without it, that's another thing online. Like I didn't know everyone was selling out until the internet too. Like I was just on the road having a good time.
Totally.
And then that's why my tour now is called Tickets Available. Like that's what it's called. That's the poster. Like, honey, they're
Tickets
there.
available. Dumb bitch in town.
Liza, we are trying to make this thing happen where we are moving on from selling out culture because there is this pressure to sell out and everyone's posting about selling out. And it's like, no. I don't do it for that. I do it to sell 75% of the tickets. And that's perfect.
Are you kidding? In Houston, my late shows had under 30 people in a room made for, I would say, 200 to 300.
Is that true?
Yes.
Liza, you know what's funny? It's
I perform for sometimes I perform for 15 to 50 people in giant rooms.
I consider you to be certainly of my friends and the people I know well, like one of the most successful comedians.
I'm really respected by my peers, and I've learned that I shouldn't have even thought about that. I should have just gone straight.
No, it's absolutely true. Yeah.
Like even at Edinburgh, like comedians would come see me, and they would come multiple times, and I felt so that really made me feel so good about myself. But I needed to grasp onto anything because I was performing for 7 people in a trailer in the middle of college.
One of the things
I loved it. I loved it. I have fun. That's the thing. Like I get to do this, and I feel grateful. But because you see all these other people selling out, all of a sudden, I'm thinking about it when I have fun for 20. I don't care. I do care. It's hard. It's hard. I feel bad for these venues that book me being like, she's the hottest act in town. And then closer, they're like, can you please post again? And I'm like, yeah. They're shocked too that I can't sell tickets.
But I think this is one of these big secrets is I think a lot of people are not selling as many tickets as you think they are.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't you think?
I think you're 100% right.
When I've known someone that canceled a show because they didn't sell enough tickets, and I was like, if I only perform places I've sold out, I would have had maybe 7 shows in my career. Like, what are you talking about?
No, all these people. I once heard someone who I considered like, wow, here I am slumming it, and they figured it out, and they're going viral, and they're big on whatever, and they had to cancel a show they had to cancel an entire East Coast leg of their tour.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, you're either not selling or then you're a hot shot. Then you're selling. Yeah. It's really hard.
There's no middle class.
In between. Well, I'm up today, so my friend works at Live Nation, and this is her big project. But I'm going to Madison Square Garden today to watch a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
I'm familiar.
Oh, you are? Yeah, I don't know.
I've never listened to it, but I know what you're talking about. This is like Dropout people?
I have no clue. I was like, you know what? I want to see what this is. I want to see what this is.
God, you know that like David Foster Wallace essay about him going...
Of course I don't.
Okay, well, there's... It's like a famous essay where he when he goes on a cruise. Okay, so it's like he goes on a cruise. It's called A Supposedly Fun Thing I'll Never Do Again. It's been like sort of copied many times. There's been like a lot of essays since then about like, intellectual writers going on cruises and then just like gawking at how completely unsophisticated and terrible are these people.
Disgusting, normal people.
Disgusting, whatever. And I think the contemporary version of that would literally be a writer going to a Dungeons and Dragons live podcast recording at Madison Square Garden. That is our current version of like depraved cruise culture.
No, I think there's worse than D&D. I do. I think like
I guess
Kill Tony being at Madison Square Garden. I think is
but there's something about D&D, like a D&D podcast to go to at least Kill Tony, you're seeing a stand-up comedian. You know what I mean?
Wow.
No, they're just playing the game, but you're cheering. I guess you're cheering for the dice rolls.
Yeah. And I don't know. I know I sound like elitist or something.
No, it's not elitist.
George,
we'll see. So
I completely agree.
I'm actually being really rude. So my friend's a professional wrestler. So I went to an AEW event at Arthur Ashe. And my friend turned to me, who I brought, and she goes, there's not enough girls here. It smells. She goes, it smells. And I looked and I go, yeah. It smells like gross guys that like wrestling. So I'm curious at the smells of D&D.
Ooh,
That's like what I'm trying to compare if I'm being like fully honest, which is even ruder than what you said.
But
you just said they were dumb and cruise, and I go, I want to know how they compare and smell to what wrestling fans.
See, this, I think there's something even more nefarious where like that is like, I wish that was the D&D that was happening where it would be like nerdy losers, but there's something where it's like respectable D&D where it's like, we're doing it like with a comedy twist and we're doing it like, we're like actually smart and we like do this knowingly and we like have wives and we're like cool. And I'm like, that's almost like worse in a weird way. Like I preferred it when it was like a niche nerdy thing. And now it's like it's almost reminding me of like in 2010 when everyone was like, yeah, I'm a freaking nerd. Like,
yeah.
I watch Star Wars. And it's like, no. Enough.
It's such a trap to be in comedy talking about the idea of nerd. It's like there's no one nerdier than people who are into comedy. Like the idea that I'm like making fun of people who are into Dungeons and Dragons. Are you kidding me? Like I literally grew up watching like Joan Rivers on YouTube every night.
I was about to say, yeah, Hollywood Squares. It's bad.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was really into.
You know, Lisa, I'm realizing you called us out and then we still never gave you a Dove score.
I think we should. I'm going to give you an intentionally low score to sort of put a fire under your ass, and because I want you to do even better next time. And I'm going to say it's 870.
Oh wow, that's a low score.
That is, but I thought you were going 87.
No.
I thought you were going to just call it 8. Be like 8.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm a fair teacher.
And I was like, get her.
It's because I chose the sub, but I like it. I like to eat a sandwich. It's my favorite food, and I'll never vote against it.
Oh, I would definitely choose sub over 16 Shields. That sounds so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And lazy Sunday. That's the best day of the week. I love a lazy Sunday.
No, it's really true. Ugh.
Like I love freaks and geeks, but like, honey, you know, she's not prevailing.
Should we get into the topic?
I would, and actually, we don't know what your topic is, so we're gonna find out live on air.
Okay. My straight topic is the paper goods and cleaning product aisle of a grocery store.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Straight to me.
Please.
So paper goods and cleaning products.
It's usually one aisle.
It's usually one aisle.
I know
Split in
exactly
between
the
the
aisle you're
middle.
speaking of.
Yeah.
Paper goods meaning like notebooks and stuff?
No, meaning like paper towels.
Oh, yes, yes, of course.
Toilet paper.
Tissues, toilet paper, toilet scrubs, like Ziploc bags.
Yeah. Like non-edible
Yeah.
home stuff.
That's
You
so
need
interesting.
You need it, but it's not really bringing much.
No, it's not.
But you can't have society without it. You need people procreating. You need paper towels, but it's not actually good for anything. And it's
bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Everything is made of microplastics. Everything is getting thrown out, not recycled.
and it's like you're throwing a party. So you're like, get the paper plates, no thought, no like, we just need it. Easy. Get it in.
Yes.
Get it into the ocean quick.
I think there's something where you're like in the grocery store and you're like, you know, looking at the produce and there's romance and you're like looking at the meat and being like, what meat do we have? And then you like go to that place and you're like, oh, suddenly I'm in a Lowe's. Like suddenly I'm in a store with like very practical items. Where you're like, it like ruins the like, I'm a French shopper.
Yeah, it's the least glamorous aisle for sure.
Yeah.
Because you can find, in any other aisle, you could at least find one fancy thing. Even if you're, let's say, you know, you're looking at the dried pasta, you're going to find one the fresh one that's like in little
Or a new
nest.
flavor of something,
Or a new flavor of
color,
something.
or a new. Or
You're at
it's
the
like,
yogurt aisle.
Ooh, that looks good. That aisle, you're never like, ooh, let's just walk down it. You're like, oh yeah, I need this.
Yeah.
I need it.
It's very like provisions. It's like things you need to survive rather than things that will make your life better.
And we need straight people.
Of course.
You know what?
But they're not bringing flair to the game.
I think that aisle is also funny because that's so like wife and husband going grocery shopping. It's like, husband, go get trash bags. Like there's something like so manageable about it.
Yes.
Like I feel like I'm that role in my relationship and it's very like, Sam, go get paper towels. And I'm like, perfect. There's no way to mess this up.
Oh, that's so true. It's the one aisle. Even if you get the completely wrong thing, even if you get the wrong kind of plate or it's too small or whatever, at least it's still a plate. Like there's no actual way to mess it up. Whereas if you tell a man, can you get some parsley, he will come back with, you know, a delicata squash.
What do you guys think about the internet meme thing right now of like
I love it. I thought I was going to bring it up.
Yep.
I know what you're going to say.
The man, my Instacart shopper is a man or whatever, and they got me this, and it's like completely wrong all the time.
This woman had a white monster. She wanted a white Monster Energy, and the person sent a photo of a Red Bull, and she goes, "No, a white Monster Energy." And then that was the next photo, and it's like, so it is there.
Yeah,
it is there. So like, what is going on? Why? I would be livid.
It's so confusing. As we all know, gender is back more than ever.
So you bring me frozen mozzarella sticks. And it's like, what? Like, I don't get this.
There is a way that men. Oh God, here I go.
I know.
Here we go with men versus women, which we promised ourselves we wouldn't do. There's a way that like.
But it is men versus women.
No,
like,
it's true.
When they're just like, you're a man hater, it's like, yeah, the evidence makes me feel like I should hate men. Like,
yes.
What are you talking about?
Okay. At the risk of truly sounding so gender essentialist, there's a way in which like there's a way of thinking that is where you think in categories. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, something is the shape of a stick and it's made of cheese. So therefore string cheese and frozen mozzarella stick are in that category. You can either think in categories or you can think in specifics. And I think it's like, let's say the straight thing is to think in categories. So you're asking me, can I get a Diet Snapple? And I'm like, here's an apple. It sort of is like, it rhymes. So it's close enough.
Yeah. And then if you get you should have been more specific. And it's
yes.
But there's a photo of it on the app.
And it's also like, it's okay for you to use your own, like, just take a breath and make the step of using your critical thinking skills.
But they don't want to. But then it's like, why are you even doing this shop? Because I'm thinking of the thing is, my Instagram knows what makes me mad, and it's basically like housewives being mistreated, right? Like I like gender equality.
Sure.
So they'll just show me a bad husband. And it was basically like, hey, will you put the leftovers away? Mm-hmm. And then when the wife opened the fridge, it was just, he took the pots and pans and put it in there. It was like, well, you should have been more specific and said in the bowl. And then the stitch was like, but you've never seen her do that. Like, she puts it in a bowl.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just grab a bowl? And it's like, because he doesn't want to ever do anything for anyone ever again. And that's how I solve the problem. I am bi. I'm out there, but I don't do dishes. I don't have cutlery. I do not cook. And I have paper plates and plastic.
You have paper plates in your home day to day?
And bowls and plastic, yeah.
Lisa.
So how is
wait, hold on.
How is
so
it solving the problem?
You're solving the problem by not ever. Explain.
I'm like a man at times.
You're a man.
I'm a bad dad. John Goodman's so good, but I'm like, that's the thing. Like, I hate men and what they do to the women in their lives, but I am the man in anywhere I go.
You're like, you can't be lazy at me. I'll be lazy at you first.
Yeah, like but I don't want to but I'm not hurting anyone, and I'm not asking anyone to do it. I know that I don't want to do dishes. I will throw things away. I don't want it. That's not the life I'm living.
Yeah.
My parents didn't move here so I could like do a dish. And so I would rather, but I also don't go out to eat. I'll eat an Uncrustable. So sometimes, usually I try not to use anything.
I see.
But
eating on top of the sink, sort of hovering by the sink, eating an Uncrustable. Yeah. Saying, this is my American dream. Thank you to my mom and dad.
I will never, ever wash a dish.
I feel like I don't even make sense anymore because I'm doing this. But yeah, I just have paper and plastic.
Yeah.
I'm done and I put it, it's gone and that's it.
I mean,
but I'm also living in a small space where my living room is my kitchen. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to do dishes. It's just like not the way I want to live.
So going back to the Seth Rogen type that you're looking for, is the dream that the partner would like incorporate into your lifestyle or elevate it and be like riding it on a horse with porcelain plates, and finally you get to have the plates, and then he or she also does them?
I would be fine with either because it's not like fair to put that all on a person.
Sure.
But yeah, of course I'd like someone that has the
plates.
I'm worried.
Like some of those plates, because I go to Fish and Eddie's. I like looking at them. Mm-hmm. I just can't have them in the home.
Yeah, I once saw Gigi Hadid at Fish and Eddie's.
Oh, Lisa, I'm wondering though if there's sort of a chicken or the egg thing happening here, where like I can't tell if like you like finding the perfect partner will then elevate you to having plates in your home, or if you having plates in your home will elevate you to finding the perfect partner.
Ooh.
Like,
no, that's true. It's a quote I talk about a lot. Like, be the list, like who you're looking for. But I don't ever want to do. If I find someone that really cares about cleanliness, I think how I will differentiate between like the men I watch on Instagram. I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be like, wow, you're so good. I'm going to brag about how they clean. I'm going to be like, I don't know what I would do without this person.
Yes, rather than like nagging them and being like, let me play my video games. Like,
no, I
stop
would be like,
sweeping.
I can't believe it. Thank you. But also, if that person gets annoyed, I pay someone to come clean.
Sure.
So I'm fine to like contribute more, or I'll pay for all the cleaning products, or like, I don't want to take advantage of a person. But I also know, like, maybe I'll change and grow, and that's a maturity. I'm back on Wellbutrin, like, who knows? But I don't want to. I want to be like friendly boy. It's like, hold on to who I am. But she's single, and I don't want that.
But
so
it's very.
Right. Do I get the dishes first? Fuck.
Well, here's the thing. You're pointing to a sort of. There is a type of New Yorker that lives exactly how you live, and often that's actually very glamorous. Like
Carrie Bradshaw.
It's Carrie Bradshaw. Yes, it's using your oven for storing your cashmere sweaters because your closet is overflowing and you would never cook. But it's so tough to find that line where something like that can be either the most glamorous or like the most sad, depending on how you sell it to the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. But I recently went out to eat with friends, and I did order buttered noodles, and everyone was really like not happy with me.
But
wait, explain why they were upset with you because you were like bringing down the classy level.
They're just like, "What are you doing? You can make that. Like, you can make a buttered noodle. What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "But I don't want to make it. I want to go to my bodega. I want to just like be on my block.
Yeah,
give me a bagel with butter. I don't know." Like, I don't want to do it. But if I had a lover that cooked for me, I mean, I would be like on my knees nightly. Like, I wouldn't.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be on it. I would do sexual favors for food for sure. and clean.
Wait, okay. I want to go back to the paper goods and home goods aisle.
Because I also think with that, it's like cookouts, potlucks to me are very straight too.
Totally.
And that is involved in like plastic and paper.
Yeah. Well, the thing with cookouts, barbecues, things of that nature is
Tivas. Ugh.
Tivas. You are able to. The reason men get so absolutely excited about it is because they're like, oh, finally, we can just do grilling meat without having to worry about like having a little ring around the cloth napkin.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So this is another like Instagram feeds me couples that aren't, equal. And so it was this woman like kept being annoyed that she had to get all the stuff together for her husband's parties. So he wanted to have one, and she's like, no, I'm tired. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And he's like, I'll do it on my own. And he went, and all he bought was meat. Like, he didn't get it. And then he was screaming at her that there was nothing else, or chips or condiments. But it was like, yeah, you still gotta grab the paper. It was wild. They just brought the meat. What was that sigh? Did I ruin the podcast?
No, it's not. No, I mean,
No.
You know what the sigh was? The sigh was me. Like, I'm truly like, because we all know people who act this way and are not able to use like simple logic to follow directions. And I really am like, what more is there left to do? At this stage, everyone has tried so hard, their wives, their daughters, their mothers, and still they are not able to go to a grocery store and buy parsley.
Because my thing is like, because they already think they're better than us and everything what we do is stupid, right? Because another thing straight from Instagram, I truly don't have any original thoughts, but it's like, how come you know how to behave at work?
Yes. No, you're so right.
So you know how to behave at work and be a high-powered attorney or executive and play tennis with your friends, and you're not losing it at work. You're not screaming. You're not hitting your coworker. But you're going home and not able to behave all of a sudden and can't fold a sheet, then you're not the better sex. Stop being in charge of government.
There's a sort of mentality that says the professional sphere is real, like that's where you step up, and the domestic sphere is when you shut down. It's almost like it would be gay to try hard in the domestic sphere, whether that's cleaning, whether that's clipping your toenails, a part of your body not visible at work but visible at home, whether that is like helping out, whether that is making the bed. It's just sort of like, that doesn't count because I'm not getting a promotion based on making the bed.
Yeah, it's like, it's anti-capitalist to like make your bed.
Totally. Yeah. Yes. It's literally like, well, that's not part of the economy, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
every home should have its own currency. And that way you can win points for making your bed.
It's like give or take. Because you know what? My partner might be cleaning and cooking, but when it's time for the holidays, you know who? I'm going to buy gifts for their whole family.
Yes.
I'm going to make the most thoughtful little gifts. I'm going to come in with a host gift. I'm going to chill with your parents and chat with them and play backgammon with your dad. Like I'm bringing other things. I'm just not reading or cleaning or...
Sam, what you're saying...
I hate showering.
What you're saying, Sam, like the idea of a currency is so, I feel like, getting your husband like a ticket for a blowjob for Christmas.
Literally.
One of your best episodes. Sorry, weaponizing oral sex.
Weaponizing oral sex. Well, because I do think that is like the obviously there are many issues with a woman giving a man a ticket for a blowjob, whatever. But I
have multiple friends that give blowjobs for their husbands to do things for them around the house.
Well, but I think it points to Sam's point about like, so the way into his heart is through being like, let's play like this is work. So this would be like if your boss gave you a bonus, but it's a blowjob.
Yeah.
So now do you see why this is sort of real? It's transactional,
but
babe.
It's even the view of it, because it's like, it's not even transactional and you're doing something for me. It's like you're doing something for yourself and it's seen for me because your home life is my responsibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, come on, babe. I mean, I did my laundry, and it's like, what? But that's what? Yeah, I don't know. But this is all, Esther Perel or someone, like no relationship's ever 50-50, right? Like you both are in relationships. I'm not. Right. Tell me how it works.
Mine is not 50-50 at all. Misha does all the cooking, but that's because he cares a lot about the food. Like I don't, like when I cook, he'll be like, well, that you have to add this. And I'm like, well, like I'm cooking. It's going to taste a little bit worse. And like, yeah, so it's just like, yeah, you cook, you care way more about it. But I try to like help clean up more. Like, it's like, if you cook, I'll do the dishes, but it's still not equal.
But that also comes from respect. It doesn't have to be equal. But it's respect. It's seeing like, oh my God, this person is cooking for me. They're so good at it. I'm going to help out in this way. Or like, I'm going to be so grateful. I think a lot with hetero, it's expected. They're entitled to it. And if it's not there, you're doing something like not woman-like. And that's where the resentment and all that comes from, where it's expected. It's not even like this nice, beautiful thing that you have in your relationship. It's, bitch, there better be food here. Or what are you bringing to the table?
That's the thing. We've talked about this before. It's definitely entitlement, but it's also, there is something, no matter how progressive or you are or how hard you try to have a 50-50 relationship, there is something limiting in a straight relationship because you are always, consciously or not, referring back to existing norms. So you're either following norms or breaking norms. So there's all this pressure to either be the perfect like 50s couple or be the perfect progressive 2020s Brooklyn couple. And so everything you do, you're like, okay, where do I fit in? Today I was more equal. Today I was more problematic. Today I was, my husband was more feminist. Whereas if you're gay, because there's fewer generations of what it should be like to be a gay couple, you're like liberated to do whatever you want. Ideally. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I also think there's so many things that I do that are like straight guy coded that like, but they don't have the same trauma attached.
Exactly.
Like,
that's exactly what I mean. Yes.
Yeah. Cause like for example, that the guy in the grocery store, that is so me. I am like so fucking stupid in a grocery store. It's insane. Like a famous tale of me when I was like a teenager was my mom was like, well, you go get like 12, like, or go get like 5 lemons. And I like walked away. And then like 10 minutes later, I come back with nothing in my hands. And I'm like, what was I supposed to get? And like, and that has stayed the way that I am forever. It's just like, I either have to like write it down and be like militant, or like, I will just like, I'm too spacey. But because we are gay, it's like, well, it's, he's a creative. It's not like, oh, he's a man. It's like,
no one's ever exactly. No one's ever saying classic man that you weren't able to get the 5 lemons. Mm-hmm. And so then what that does is it enables you to have an actual individual personality. It's not that's a man, it's that's Sam.
Yeah.
Like that is classic Sam that he didn't get the 5 lemons. Not like that is classic man, he should be put in prison, I'm a nasty woman.
Yes. Because you're already outside the norm.
Exactly.
So you can just be, yeah.
And that's, I think, like.
But then I know lesbian couples that though fall right into such gender masc femme norms.
Well,
that it's pretty
lesbian
wild.
couples love masc and femme.
Yeah.
They really
Lesbian
do.
couples love masc and femme.
We actually need to talk to a lesbian about that. That is crazy.
I think we need to have a summit where we have like a true roundtable of lesbians, because I really need to know more about the inherited traditions and traumas of masc and femme. Because sometimes when you hear, and we have a lot of lesbian friends on this podcast, sometimes when you hear discussions of masc and femme, you're almost like, this is as ingrained as man and woman is in the straight world.
You created gender within gender.
You created gender within this like utopian lesbian separatist society that you live in.
Gay guys try to do it with top and bottom, which
But it's
is so
different.
and also it doesn't work. Like
It doesn't work at all.
Not taking off in any way. It's a myth.
No, there's actually something, the idea of top and bottom has been completely decontextualized from its actual meaning.
Yeah, it's mostly just for games for drag race.
Exactly. Yes, it's like when someone says they're a
Literally.
top, no part of me is like, so you're penetrating? No, that's literally not what it's about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
But yeah, even with the dudes, like what's so hard with dudes is they seem normal, right? They're like saying the right thing.
Sometimes.
Everything. Yeah, like they're cleaning. You're like, oh, this is good, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, well, I don't think women should have credit cards. Like there's always a hidden thing because of how we're all raised, where no matter how good and great, there's just this thing where you look and you go, what the fuck did you just say?
But to turn that around, I would say that is also the case with women, where they seem normal and then suddenly they'll say like, well, the man should make more money.
100%. It is.
And that happens so much more
But that
often.
only happens because men go crazy. Like that's the whole thing. It's like if men acted normal with women making tons of money, I think it's kind of when people are like, the gay teens are taking their own lives. And it's like, I think it's the bullying, not the gay.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel with the women making more money. They would love it. But it's like, as soon as you get promoted or women make more money within a straight relationship, the studies show it's like divorce goes up, like all these different things happen. It's like if men could just handle it, it would be fine. But it's still valuing, it's like the pick me of it all. Cause it's like, I'd rather make less money and have a man than be on my corporate, ladder baddie.
Totally. Liza, any final thoughts on the aisle at the supermarket that has paper goods and home
And you could have some fun flair. Like my Ziploc bags are Arthur the Aardvark. Like there is deviations.
Of course, my mind went, this is different because it's not in that aisle, but my mind went to fun Band-Aids, one of my favorite things to purchase. Like to have Band-Aids with SpongeBob on them, I mean, I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah, they're just all so little.
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're for the little babies. No, I think it's just like you need it. It's there. It's there for you. Clean your toilet. Get some bleach. But, you want to Unpleasantville it a little.
Yeah.
Get a thicker one at least.
Get it. I would like, here's what I think. Let's get the Queer Eye team, the Fab Five, to redesign that aisle of the supermarket. That would be I think that would be a very fun project for them. No one would get hurt, unlike the current status of that show, where I believe they end up like psychologically torturing everyone they try to help. It would be.
You know what? The Swiffer wet jet is holding down the gay community. In that
that's
aisle.
True.
Yeah.
Swiffer.
She is squirting.
Yes. No, Swiffer is very queer, I think.
Yeah. All around Swiffer.
Like Mop and Bucket is so traditional. It's so 50s. And then the Swiffer came along and was like, skinny.
Skinny, quick, wipe it down fast. I love it.
Okay, should we do our final segment?
Let's do our final segment.
Thank you for having me, by the way. It's always a dream.
Of course. Lisa, our final segment is called Shoutouts. And in this segment, we pay homage to the grand straight tradition of the radio shoutout and shout out anything that we are enjoying, people, places, things, ideas. So imagine it's 2001, you're at TRL shouting out to your squad back home about anything that you like. Do you have one, George?
I don't.
Okay.
I have
one. That I don't think I've done before.
Okay.
What is up, freaks, losers, and perverts around the globe? I want to give a huge shout out, and I hope I haven't done this before, to straws. I have started making straws a priority again in my life. I am in the coffee shop. They give me the thing where there's just a hole and you're supposed to sip on it. And I say, do you have a straw? And guess what? I love it because when that ice is coming at your face, it makes the drinking experience less fun. And you need a straw to get through the bullshit, aka the ice, so you can get a clean sip of your coffee. I find straws to be so fun, so practical, and I don't know what is up with their impact on the environment, but I refuse to look into it. One time I got a straw that was literally just a noodle, and they were like, it's a pasta straw. And I was like, I don't think you're actually supposed to use just a piece of pasta, but I thought this is pretty quirky, and I will think about this straw forever. I love straws, and I love sea turtles, and I hope they are supporting each other and linking up diva-wise. XOXO, Sam.
Wow.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm straws all the way. And that stuff about the turtles is not real. I feel that was pushed by the paper agenda.
You think that was propaganda?
One's not better than the other, and we still use plastic. Like, it just felt too weird. Like, it felt like a business deal with billionaires that like they were at a summit and were like, yeah, let's push this.
I think two things can be true. Obviously, I think they both are bad and were chosen almost at random as the one thing we're meant to think is bad. And I think everyone can agree on that. I do think they are bad.
Sure.
It's like you can decide what the hot bad thing is at any given time. You can decide it's microplastics, you can decide it's straws, you can decide it's fast fashion. All of those are bad.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm doing all of them. I'm filled with plastics.
Oh, it's plastics up the wazoo. Okay, I can go. Let me see.
I'm with you. My bestie, she has straw, like bags of straw. I love having drinks at her house with straws.
Oh, it's so luxurious.
Yeah. And you get drunker faster. And you're right, the ice coming at me. I don't love it.
I hate the fucking ice.
Damn, that was a good one.
Thank you. I thought about it today because I got a coffee and a little straw.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I have a good one. Okay. All right. What's up, cinephiles around the world? I want to give a shout out to movies having intermissions. I just saw The Brutalist, and a lot has been said about how The Brutalist, have you seen it, Liza?
No.
So it has built into the film an intermission. So in the middle of it, you get a blank screen, and then it counts down 15 minutes. And people have been like, oh, what a dick swinging move from the director, blah, blah, blah. Like, he thinks he's hot shit. Guess what? I got a Diet Coke. I went to the bathroom. I came back. I was ready for the second half. I reset my engagement meter. I was ready to pay attention again. The second half, a lot of people are saying the second half is bad. I actually thought it was sort of fabulous and how crazy it got. And I ultimately enjoyed the film a lot. Shout out to Adrian Brody. I'm so happy he's getting a second Oscar. But I want to say, if you're doing a long movie, which I support, if you're doing a 3.5-hour movie, sure, put in an intermission. It is a win-win for everyone. It's a win for the movie theater because I'm going to go get my Diet Coke. It is a win for me because I get to reset my attention. It's a win for the filmmaker. More people are going to go see their movies. And it's a win for society because we are going in a more sort of Euro chic direction. You're suddenly at the opera. You're in Italy. You are going out and getting an Aperol Spritz in the middle of it. Afterwards, you're going to go have some spaghetti. You're going to have a steak free. And so it's truly a no-brainer to me. I don't understand why it doesn't happen more. Hell, put an intermission in a 90-minute rom-com for all I care. It doesn't have to be a big movie. So I just want to shout out to intermissions. I want to see more of them, and I want to see them now.
Shout out. I love that.
You're killing it. Because I have peeing, I'm always scared I gotta pee. How do I plan? I'm taking such little sips so I don't have to pee. I would love a break.
I just want to say, as a Regal member, a proud Regal member.
Give me a hot dog.
In Regal, you get a small Diet Pepsi, because of course the one flaw, Pepsi, not Coke, at the Regal branded establishments. Their small size is truly as big as a bathtub, and I can't control myself. If you're going to give me a bathtub sized drink, I'm going to have it all. So what happens is I have it all within the first 20 minutes, and then I'm pretty much peeing my pants for the last 3 hours.
I did permanent damage to myself during Anatomy of a Fall trying to hold my pee. That was crazy. And I'm very grateful for intermissions.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll see The Brutalist, JK. I want to see Baby Girl.
Wait, I feel like you would like The Brutalist.
You think so?
Well,
I'm scared.
Talk about meet a man at The Brutalist.
Ooh, okay. Do I dress slutty and go to the Brutalist?
Literally.
I would love it.
Oh, I want to know what you think of Baby Girl too. Okay.
Well, I saw a photo of Nicole Kidman crawling, and I went,
you haven't seen nothing
yet. Okay. What up, sweetheart, sexy ladies, and everyone in between. So,
thank you for being inclusive.
All right. So, my shout out right now. I started True Blood yesterday. I'm about 4 episodes in. No one told me it was softcore porn. I've never been hornier in my fucking life. It's sex. It's nonstop, rough, cool sex. So thank you. And I'm glad to be horned up by a show. Thanks. So that's basically
Love it.
Woo.
No, True Blood is the horniest show.
Didn't know. I thought it was like Twilight vampires. I didn't care. I put it on and I was like, oh my God, she's like hanging from a hook, getting fucked from behind. I'm like, oh, I could get behind this show.
Wow.
I know. I sort of think Twilight, a lot of the more like YA vampire stuff hurt True Blood because people think that's what it is because they put it in the same category as Twilight. Okay, you do have a heart out. We love you. Please tell everyone once again, what your special is called, where they can find it, and when it comes out. And
I am fun and funny. I just get really serious when it becomes to sex. You know, I go on these podcasts to promote the special, and then I end up talking about unequal, inequality,
Liza,
and I don't like it.
You are one of the most beloved stand-up comedians.
It's very nice of you. I love doing comedy, and I love being able to hang out with you guys. And Netflix, Night Owl, Tuesday, January 28th. I really want to be in the top 10. I know it's desperate to be like, vote for me, Dancing with the Stars, but like, I want to be in the top 10.
Yeah, just press play. Guess what? Even if you're not a comedy fan, press play, leave the room. It's still going to count.
It's just still going to count. So I could be on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
Ooh, I think it's in the cards. I think it's really in the cards for you.
I think I got to be in a top 10 to do it. I think I do.
All right, let's get Mulaney out of there, and we're talking Liza Treyger.
Mulaney, I would love if Mulaney was in the top 10. We're talking like alt-Nazi comedy. Get that out. The AI Christmas, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I should go.
No, it's okay. Well, this has been a real delight. Thank you so much for doing the pod.
You guys are amazing.
Bye.
Bye. StraightioLab is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by George Civeris and Sam Taggart.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Han Sani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bei Wang.
Edited and engineered by Adam Avalos.
Artwork by Michael Fales and Matt Grubb.
Theme music by Ben Kling.